Okay, guys, I just got back from a weed party that I just hosted pretty much spontaneously. This girl that I asked out like in first year was there. I got a free birthday cake. I invited 10 people, but 20 people showed up. It was absolutely crazy. The night started and I told everyone, be there at 6:30, right? And that means everyone will be there at 7. But the thing is, it's 6:45 and I'm in the elevator with a bunch of snacks. I'm late. I know it. I'm late to my own function. And my neighbor who's invited, she's like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 2 minutes. And I know my room is a disaster. The Wii's aren't set up. The snacks aren't out. It's just a disaster. And then my friend, we'll call him Bob. And Bob has one job. And Bob's one job is to bring the Wii and the games. So I'm like, Bob, do you have the Wii? Bob says yes. Bob says yes. And then I'm like, Bob, do you have the games? And there's silence. Silence. And he's like, fuck, dude, I forgot the games. Oh my fucking God. You had one job, Bob. Fucking job, Bob, to bring the games. So now I'm in the elevator, going up to my apartment, gamesless, about to host a Wii party with no games. And then my neighbor comes in and she's bringing 2 of her friends and she's like, wow, it's time to play. Like, we're so ready, like relating everything, I'm sure you have everything set up. And this shit is just a disaster. I cleaned a little bit, so that was great. And then I've learned so much from hosting. I've hosted so many things in the past and I have a backup plan. Flashback, I went to my house the previous weekend and got my Wii. And even better is I knew that my Wii had a copy of Wii Sports in it. Boom, we had one game. And then we checked Bob's Wii and he had Super Mario Kart. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. We had a contingency plan. I had a contingency plan because I know that when you host things, now this is a lesson for y'all, when you host things, nothing ever goes right. It is horrible, but it is great at the same time. So now we have the games, but the Wii isn't set up. We're fucking finagling with the sync button as these other 2 girls that I invited come in, and they're obviously expecting to play because they're 45 minutes late, and we're still finagling with the remotes. And it turns out that Bob, the 3 like the red, yellow, and white things, he put the red thing in the yellow thing, so the Wii wasn't fucking working. Oh my gosh, this man's incompetence. It has to be studied. It has to be studied. It has to be studied. But eventually we figured it all out. We're playing Super Mario Kart, which means we need another flashback. Thing is, y'all still don't know why there was a cake, why there were 20 people. There's, 6 in the room right now currently, and why that girl was there that I knew from before. Well, the thing is, right, apparently one of the people that my neighbor was bringing, it was his birthday, and they were gonna surprise him. But I hosted this thing, and my neighbor preferred to go to my place instead of the place that they were gonna surprise him at. So now they had to do the surprise at my place because he wanted to play Wii so badly, which is really funny. I kind of just mocked them, I'm not gonna lie. So he's on the controller, right? And then the plan is that my neighbor brings her friend in and they bring a cake and everything's great. Midway through him playing Mario Kart, I pull him outside on my balcony and I stall for like 10 minutes. It was so bad. They took so long. And apparently they came in, but because we were on the balcony and we couldn't hear anything, they were like, happy birthday, and then they just saw no one. But then finally, my neighbor, she calls us into the room, and then like 15 women walk into my apartment. What? Where were they all fucking hiding? It was crazy. It was honestly crazy. I was so blindsided. My apartment was in no shape for like 10 strangers to walk into my apartment. I knew like 5 of them. The rest were straight strangers in my apartment. Who I didn't know their names. But they're just in my apartment. It was strange. Now things are now a little bit weird. I had asked out one of them. She said yes. It just kind of fizzled out. And then they had a cake. So they cut into the cake, they eat the cake, and things are nice. And I learned a very important lesson that I keep learning over and over. Nothing ever goes to plan when you host something. Like, for example, my neighbor pulls me aside and she's like, see, I pulled through with that girl you asked out. Like insinuating that like she put me on with the girl that I asked out before. And I was like, what? You pulled through? I was like, what are you talking about? Right? And then we will get back to this, but then the night goes on and we have epic boxing matches. I mean, I sweat so much. Wii is such a workout, right? And eventually I'm cooking. I'm not gonna lie. I am a pro at that game. There's a pro next to my name. It was crazy. I win all my matches. It's great. Then everyone's gonna leave. And guess what? After, the girl I asked out left. And then my neighbor is about to leave. And then, I wanted to do a little coy thing. So I'm like, oh, I have a question. Did you actually pull through? She goes, pull through with what? And I'm like, did you pull through? And then she's like, oh, did I pull through with? And then she says the girl's name. Who does that? Who fucking does that? What are you talking about? Why? Oh my God. Why do you have the subtlety of a fucking brick thrown by Shohei Ohtani? Huh? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But as usual, nothing goes to plan. But that was my function. Super fun. And the lesson for y'all is you should host, because it sucks. Inviting is stressful. You never know if 20 women are gonna show up in your apartment, but it's always fun. No matter what goes wrong, it's always fun. So host something. You can do this. Good night.